first?
Sure.
Oh, this one says absolutely. Okay, all right. 10,000 years ago, when the first archaic Indians were coming through this area, they were nomadic travelers, hunters, followers of the deer and the elk. And of course, we have no evidence of them. They were leave-no-trace campers. But starting with 10,000 years ago, our ancestors were using the yucca to make yucca baskets and or other fibers, no doubt. Everybody can agree with that? They cooked in these. How did they cook in a basket like this? Heat the rock and put it in. Thank you, sir. Give me 5. What did they do before they heated the rock? What did they have to do to the basket? Line it with that sticky pine pitch. Y'all have that in Pennsylvania where the pine trees are spitting that resin out and it gets on your car and you try and get it off and it's not coming off? Yeah, we have that here with the pinyon. You'd line it. We'd send some small child because she doesn't know any better. I had a 12-year-old on my last tour and I sent her out to get the pine pitch. Line it here, we put it right here. We would have our fire here. We'd take 2 stones, preferably igneous rock. Are you proud of me? Because sandstone, not so much. Put our rocks right there. We'd take 2 sticks. We'd pick that rock up and we'd add it to our basket filled with water and rabbit meat, deer meat, whatever. Psst, goes in there. Now, ladies, because our ancestors were very smart, they also made a flat cover for this out of yucca. What do we now have? The first crock pot. Absolutely. As soon as that rock is cold, we put it back in. We take another rock. Folks, this way of cooking is the opposite of a microwave. Absolutely. But this is how things happen for many thousands of years. This basket was done by a ranger. It bears no resemblance to the yucca baskets that are beautifully woven by the 21 Pueblo communities of today. But I use this to demonstrate. Now, we're going to progress to, every year we come in and we don't know what's in our toy box. Oh, this is better. And these are both good. All right. Eventually, Earth Mother, according to Grandfather Eugene from Zuni Pueblo, Earth Mother came to tell the people of this area, and of course the people would have preceded the builders of Longhouse, came to tell the people how to make clay pots. And there's a little legend that goes with that. I'll tell you at the end of the tour. They fashioned their pots, take a look from the side, after one of the 3 vegetables they grew. Which vegetable was it? Corn, beans, or squash? Squash, absolutely. Smooth on the inside and bumpy on the outside. This is called corrugated pottery. Can you see from where you're sitting that this was next to a fire? Absolutely. This would be placed on 3 pot rocks on top of the fire, and the flames from the fire would come up and make the outside black, but it was a very efficient way of cooking. You were not able to eat beans until after you had invented pottery. Gentlemen, beans have to soak. And what are you going to soak it in if you don't have a pot to soak it in and then cook it for a long period of time? Corn was accepted first, then squash, and the last thing was beans. Corn didn't come into, well, it was in Old Mexico, 3200 BC. Very slow getting accepted up here because basically these people until about 750 AD were nomadic hunter-gatherers. They weren't building stuff like this. Now, science question. I just love to pick on the college kids or the 3rd graders, either one. She rolls out that long coil, that rope of clay. She winds it around in a circle in the shape of her squash, rounded at the bottom. Then she takes her finger and she goes down each layer of those coils to make sure that they're tight and no water will leak. Does that make sense? All right. I have my fingernail in the place where a woman 800 years ago had her fingernail as she was punching together each one of these rows. Notice she did it about every 1/4 of an inch. Smooth on the inside, rough on